welcome to episode 25 25 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and this is my podcast all about my knitting. I don't have a knit night, so this is where I come to get it all out. Thank you so much if you have come back to watch another week, if you're a returning viewer, and thank you so much if you are checking me out for the first time. Welcome. I have a bit of a croaky voice. You might be able to tell I am getting over the horrible, slightly flu-y, nasty cold that's been going around. Yeah, I have had a bit of a major week, just loads of stuff going on and now I feel exhausted. YouTube, we went over 200 subscribers this week. I'm feeling very loved. Thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to this channel. When I get a notification that I have a new subscriber, I literally do a little happy dance. Very minor happy dance, like I'm a normal human. I'm not like subscriber, I'm like subscriber, yeah, little. And yeah, so 200 is, I know, not a big number for some, but it is a massive number for me and I am incredibly grateful. Every time one of you guys gives me a thumbs up or a subscribe, it just helps to get my podcast out there a little bit more, which just means that I yeah, gain more knitting friends. I have made so many knitting friends and it's been lovely and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, if you fancy clicking either of those buttons, I would be incredibly grateful. Anyway, I had a whole bunch of things I was going to say and I've written them all down. Ooh, where you can find me. I am most active on Instagram and I am The Lonely Knitter over there. I'm on Ravelry as The Lonely Knitter 2 and someone already had that name. And we also have the Lonely Knitter podcast group and we have a knit along going on right now. I'm not going to show all the prizes today because I have shown them pretty much every video recently. I am going to take a picture at some point, put them all onto Instagram so people can see them there as well. But I will show you a new prize that arrived this week. So, one of, an indie dyer that is sort of local to me, I met Charlie of Noodle Soup Yarns at a craft fair in Norwich, which is about 25 miles from me. It's our nearest city. I met her and she is amazing a while ago and talked about her yarn on my podcast before. Well, she messaged me on Instagram and said, would I like a prize for the knit along? And I definitely would like a prize for you guys. She had already given me some stitch markers to give away when I last saw her and I was saving them for at some point when I was going to do a giveaway. And I think they should go in with these. I said that to her and she thinks that's a good idea too. So this is the prize. It's quite a bumper one, you guys. I'm keeping it as one prize. Said that to Charlie. She did say I could do what I wanted, but she had thought of it as one prize. This is 10 20-gram mini skeins, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It is a 4-ply yarn in her sturdy sock base. I'm just going to show you. I hope the glare doesn't mean you can't not like see them because they are gorgeous, but I don't want to take them out of their package because they are so nicely packaged up. Oh, there we go. They are so amazing. This one here, see this one? This one with that one there. That is my favourite. I love that. Charlie, if I ever see you at the craft fair again and you happen to have this, I'm not sure I'd be able to walk away without buying it. Because, oh my gosh. And that one. Oh, oof. Anyway, so this is one of the prizes now for the knit along. So if you've not heard of my knit along, go back. I have done a video about it before if you want to. But it is basically the hashtag not going to EYF Cal. So if you're not going to EYF Edinburgh Yarn Festival this year, 2019, because I'm not going and I feel sad about it, then I'm running a knit along. All you have to do is knit something that you could wear to EYF if you were going to EYF, but you're not going to EYF. So literally anything for yourself that you could wear. That's it. There are threads over in the Ravelry group. That is the main place to win. There is the chatter thread and the FO thread. Multiple items can be knit, so if you knit yourself 10 things, that's fine. You can post 10 things in the FO thread. If you don't end up finishing anything, that's fine too. We are drawing prizes as well from the chatter. I don't know who we are. I will also be drawing prizes from the chatter thread. So go in there, talk, tell us about yourself, say hi, and you know, say what you're planning on knitting or what you're halfway through knitting. WIPs are allowed, and this is going on until the Monday after EYF finishes. So I can't remember the date now, brain's gone. Towards like mid to end of March, 23rd, 24th, that weekend. I don't know, I'll tell you another time. It's going on right now. So this is one of the prizes. There is also in with that prize amazing set of stitch markers, and these are the ones that she gave me before but to give away, but I hadn't yet, so I'm putting them in with this one. But then when she sent this yarn, she also sent me a couple of amazing stitch markers too. I'll show you those later. So they're on one of her cards. I'll just flip this over so you can see them. They are these amazing glass stitch markers, and she puts them on these nice big sturdy rings, and then they have a Progress Keeper you know, is it lobster claw on there as well. So you can use them as a stitch marker and just leave that, or I have been with one of mine, just leave the Progress Keeper dangling or use it as a Progress Keeper, so it works both ways. And this is her card. Noodle Soup Yarns, and that is Charlie, and she has a podcast as well, which is lovely. I love her podcast. She's really friendly and chatty, and she like laughs all the time, just makes you feel really welcome, so go check her out. Anyway, so there is also something with my Knit Along, if you haven't watched before, go check out. People who send me things to give away to you guys, because they've supported us, I'm also putting them in the finished object thread as a little, like a link to them. Basically, if you use one of their items, be it a project bag, a stitch marker, their yarn, if you use their items with your project, then you can post your project twice in the finished objects thread. So far we have brain's gone, Family Tree Yarns. Family Tree Yarns sponsor one of our prizes. If you buy any yarn from Jane, a Family Tree Yarn, or anything from her shop, her Etsy shop, which I will link below, you can, and you use it on your project, you can post your project as one post in the finished object thread, and then straight after that post it again with your item, whether it be the yarn or if she has anything else, like with it in there as well, and say, and I used this from, and you can get your second entry. So Jane, Family Tree Yarns, Jilly Makes. Jilly sent us an amazing project bag, and now Noodle Soup Yarns, and I have got one other person who said they'll send us something, which would be amazing, but I'm going to wait until that happens just in case. But yes, yay! This is an amazing prize, you guys. I would love to have this. 200 grams. And stitch markers. Anyway, calm down. So that's all I'm going to say about the Knit Along this week, but go and check out the Ravelry thread if you fancy joining in. Sorry if I'm jiggling the table. I'm a bit cast my knitting aside on top of my water bottle down there. Dry mouth. Okay. I thought I would start this week. Let me just get my knitting back. Can't do my knit night if I'm not knitting. Okay, so what I was going to get onto this week is podcasts first. I'm going to try and bash it out. I don't want to be here forever and a day, which does quite often happen, but I thought I do want to continue to share the podcasts that I watch each week, and last week I did a hash job, totally forgot. So I've made a list. So the first one that I have watched this week, new episode out from Iris, who is Clogs in Africa, and last week I mentioned her, I think it was last week, and I said she was from South Africa, or she's not from, she's in South Africa. She's not in South Africa, she's in Namibia. Sorry, I'm sorry Iris, I knew that as well, so I don't know where my brain was when that happened. And yeah, her podcast is fabulous as always, and she has a gorgeous new puppy called Yoda, and he totally has ears like a Yoda, and it's so cool. So yeah, go check her out and her puppy, because it was good. And the next one that I've watched, Geordie Knits. Poor Katie. Oh, so she had a episode out on Monday of this week, so as normal, got to enjoy some of her company on YouTube, and then she got banged up in hospital with flu. I feel really bad for you, because that must have been awful. I work in a pharmacy where all you get all day is people coming in going, I've got flu, and it's like, nah mate, you haven't got flu. I think what you have is the common cold and tough. Like, so many people, I've got flu, I've definitely got flu, oh I feel not right, I've got flu. I'm like, nah, if you'd got flu you'd be on the floor. Not real flu, man. You have a cold. Sorry. Like, one day, if anyone out there wants a pharmacy rant, I would love to do a pharmacy rant. I work in a pharmacy. The things you hear that are just, the things that make you annoyed, the people who have a go at you when it's not your fault. Anyone wants a pharmacy rant, I'll do a pharmacy rant. But no, she had actual flu to the point where they took her to hospital. So major feeling sorry for Katie this week. Everyone should go and give her podcast some love. She is Geordie Knits. She is fabulous. She also does brilliant like tours of her local yarn stores. Like, she's brilliant. She is the mastermind behind the current flax along, which I am hoping to, I have already taken part in, I've already knit one flax, but I am hoping to start a new one, really soon. I don't want to knit a whole nother adult flax. I've knit one for me and one for the toddler, and now my friend has bought her yarn for one and she does not knit, and I have agreed, and I was happy to do it, and actually if she gets me the yarn I'm still happy to do it, but really it's a giant jumper and I'm like, but stop whinging, Laura, stop whinging. If you want to knit a flax, any size, flax light or normal, go over to Geordie Knits, because she's got a flax along. Okay, what else? Ooh, SCR1TNO, Sharon, she had a new episode come out today. I watched it today. She has very kindly adopted my Hexie Puff blanket. So my Hexie Puff blanket that I started years ago, I think it might have even been when I was back at uni, a long time ago, been stuffed in a ottoman in my living room for forever and a day. She's adopted it for me. I've sent it off to her. Hopefully it'll have a better life with her. You know, if it doesn't, fine. But yeah, she has a lovely podcast and her projects are beautiful. Go and check her out. I have also watched a new episode of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. That is Kalisha, but her YouTube name and her Instagram name is Nadira Tani. I knew I could say it right. I've definitely said it wrong before. But yeah, Nadira Tani, she's Kalisha. She's absolutely lovely. Her makes are beautiful. She's in Florida. Every time she's had a video that's been outside and I'm like, oh, look at that sunshine, especially here in the winter, in the cold, and I'm like, I love watching you in the sunshine. But her makes are gorgeous. She's a really like nice, calming, friendly personality to watch. And she cried this week because of just the effects that the whole racism conversation that's going on right now, like on Instagram, which is, you know, now that I am seeing it all, it is well past due, and you know, let's all sort ourselves out if we need to. I'm totally there. But she cried, and I'm one of those people that I think I'm quite empathetic, and if I'm watching something and someone's upset about something through, you know, that's happened through the actions of others, that just makes me feel like I don't know, I get upset when other people get upset. The Tuscan Knits video got on my wick. I was not a subscriber, did go over there because I was looking at all the hubbub that was going on Instagram. Found out I was an Instagram follower of hers, so definitely unfollowed straight away. Basically, I watched her podcast. I also watched Ellie of Skein Deer Knits. I love her podcast. She is another brilliant personality, just really fun to watch. She bought 2 sweater quantities of Madeline Tosh yarn. I think she might have said she got them in the Black Friday sale last year and she only just got them, but she got these 2 sweater quantities and both the colours I'm like, I want them so bad. Definitely do not have any yarn budget at the moment. Like, oh my gosh, they were to die for. And like, I gotta say, I need podcasters like Ellie, like anyone, like anyone who's buying gorgeous yarn right now to buy their yarn and show their yarn so that I can feel like the warm fuzzy yarn vibes coming off their yarn, because I do not have the yarn. I love watching other people like show off the things, or not show off, but like, you know what I mean, share the things that they get. I love it. I love it. I have also watched Amy of the Stranded podcast, Stranded Dye Works. She had a brilliant podcast on the Knitting Elite and I thought it was really, really good. And then I watched Amy and Ellie do an Instagram live and it went on for 2 hours. It was worth it. I loved it. It was really nice. But it was my Saturday night in with my husband and I said to him, just so you know, someone's out, so I'm going to do a live at 9. It's about knitting. It's stuff I'd really like to hear. So I'd like to listen to that. He's like, yeah. We stopped watching The Punisher. That's what we were watching. And he put FIFA on and I put my headphones in. And he, you know, he's not bothered about our Saturday night being taken up by that at all. But then it went on for 2 hours and it was nearly done. And he was like, I might go to bed. I was like, it's okay. You can. I'm not, but you can. So yeah, watch that. That was really good. It was nice because, you know, as someone who has started, you know, I started knitting with acrylic. I've knit with acrylic for a long time in my life, and nowadays I quite often am looking for budget options, even though I do have a nice chunk of luxury yarns in this house, what I consider to be luxury, like indie dyed lovely yarns in this house that cost a certain amount. I can't afford to just go out and buy them whenever I want. The ones I have I absolutely treasure and actually sometimes don't want to knit with because I'm like, but then I won't have any more of this nice yarn and I can't afford any more right now. So yeah, it made me feel a little bit better about some of the choices and decisions that I choose to make because I don't have the budget that maybe others do. Anyway, I also watched Skaenanigans. Melissa, she had a podcast out this weekend. She is the creator of the Northeasterly blanket and now the Southeasterly part of that design too. I have a Northeasterly on the needles, though it is sadly neglected. I will pull it out. But she has a absolutely lovely podcast and she's really chatty. She talked about her New York City trip and yeah, it was just a really nice episode. She also had a pay it forward. She has a boxy sweater. She was gifted a sweater and by Slow Fashion Rebel, and she has one in her wardrobe that doesn't get the love that it maybe deserves in her wardrobe right now, and so she wants to pass it on to someone who will love it, who possibly has a knit in their wardrobe that they would consider passing it on. So pay it forward, guys. So if you're interested, I don't think anyone's claimed it yet because I absolutely love it, but I don't have anything in my wardrobe to pass on because I barely have any knitwear for me at all. So yeah, you need to go, and if you fancy it, go and let her know that you want it. She has put a picture up on her Instagram. It is a amazing green with purples. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You know when you see something, I'm one of those people that like, if I like the colours of something, I will wear it and I don't care if I look an idiot. I don't care if I look like a rainbow. I don't care if I look like, I don't care. If I love the item, I will wear it. I don't style, it would go with jeans, things like that. So I am one of those people that I would wear anything and love it. So I don't know if you are one of those people who is just like, yes, I'm like, if it's beautiful, I love it, I want it sort of person. If you are one of those people, or if you're the sort of person that loves green and purples, if you like the Boxy by Joji Locatelli, that sort of fit sweater, this could totally be for you. You should go and check it out. I want it. Like, I'm not sitting here and saying that I want one of you guys to go and claim it so I don't get it, because I want it really bad. But I don't have anything to pay it forward right now, and I think that needs to happen because it's such a lovely idea. So yeah, go and check Skaenanigans out. I've also watched Mina of the Knitting Expat. She had a Vogue Knitting Live NYC 2019 and haul vlog, and it was fabulous. I loved it. I would love to go to Vogue Knitting Live. I would love to go to New York, just ever. And yeah, it looked so much fun and so yarny. She had all the yarn. It was gorgeous, and like I said before, I get the total yarn vibes off other people's yarn hauls, so I absolutely loved it. The Grocery Girls have a new episode out this week. Man, this podcast thing, like if I do this every week, maybe I won't do this every week, because I watch a lot of podcasts. Like I don't watch and sit and watch constantly all the time. Quite often they're in the background if I'm like loading the dishwasher or sorting something out, like just tidying up. So I've not always got my eyes straight on the camera, but I seem to get through a lot this week. Grocery Girls, yeah, Jodie and Tracy, I love them. I love them. That's it really. If you don't know who they are, then that's crazy, because everyone knows who they are. Go check them out. You should know who they are too. The Project Bag, that is a new recommendation. Oh, who recommended that to me? Was that you, Katie? Can't remember. Project Bag podcast. Anyway, so I was recommended that one to Gemma, and she's fabulous, I think. I like what she makes. She made 2 fabulous hats in her most recent episode. I went back and watched some of her previous episodes, so I love to do that. I'm doing that with quite a few right now, and had a good cry at her first episode, because at the end of her first episode she talks about her daughter that passed away last year, and yeah, had a big cry. As someone with a little girl, you know, I can't imagine the pain really, but the idea of losing my little girl is like a massive fear all the time, so it's like that come true. But she's so, you know, she crochets these NICU blankets, and like she's got this podcast and she comes across so well, and I just think, you know, what a strong woman, like wow. Well, came across like that to me. Go and check her out. I'm sticking my nose in always, jabbering on. I don't know anything about anything. If I was Amy, I'd be going, I don't know stuff about stuff. I watched Suffolk Socks. That is Julie. She's brilliant. She has an amazing Shrug with a Hug appeal going on this year. I am planning on knitting at least 1 shawl for her. Hopefully more, because I have some yarn. I'm thinking about, could I crochet one? I don't know, I'll ask. Yeah, there's a hospice in Ipswich, which is not that far from me. Her friend was in, and she is she gave her friend a shawl and called it her Shrug with a Hug before her friend passed away, and now sort of in her friend's memory she would like to go and donate a bunch of shawls and beautiful things, and I would like to knit one of those beautiful things. Ramblin' Needles. Oh no, maybe this was you, Katie. Whoever recommended these 2 podcasts to me, The Project Bag and Ramblin' Needles, I'm very sorry that I have had a mind blank and not been organised enough to write down who gave me those recommendations. Dick move. Sorry. But anyway, Ramblin' Needles, Morgan's podcast, is on its first episode. So, I love that. I love when you get a first episode up and I'm like, yes, I'm with you from the beginning. Morgan has amazing blue hair, amazing, and is knitting Yarn Hoarder dishcloths. Well, not Yarn Hoarder dishcloths, but like, I don't watch Yarn Hoarder. I think I've just come across her in the past, but I need to add her onto my list of ones to watch because everyone says she's amazing. So I'm going to go and find that this week. Yarn Hoarder, I am going to watch you this week. She doesn't know who I am. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I am going to go and watch that one this week. And yeah, because she was talking, apparently she does a dishcloth challenge, the Yarn Hoarder. And yeah, I heard about that through Ramblin' Needles. And I was like, ooh, might be interested. Also, Morgan has brilliant project bags. She had an Amelia X Joy project bag. That was pretty cool. So interesting. interesting project bags, like geeky ones, like Supernatural, and I think there was a Doctor Who, Sherlock one. Brain's gone, long week, apologies. Anyway, oh my gosh, we're done with podcasts. That was a lot of podcasts this week. I'm not gonna apologise, because you know what? They're all fabulous. You should go watch them. Be like me and watch a million podcasts so we can get nothing else done. My house is a mess. Okay, I am going to move on to the knitting now, because seriously we're half an hour in, and I would like to wrap this up as soon as possible, because nobody likes an hour and a half podcast from this face, and you know, we're going to be done with that. So, my first finished object, because I have finished objects, is, or are, these socks. These socks, which, they don't smell bad. No, they don't smell bad, but I have just pulled these from the wash basket because they have been worn, which is why they have a little bit of a fuzz to them. I don't know if you can see. So these are Ellie's stripy socks, all finished. I'll add it onto my whip count. I can't remember what the whip count was last week. I'm not going to do a thingy down here this week because I'm really tired and I can't remember and blah 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 blah. It's just not happening. So, Knit Picks Felice in the Sprinkles colourway, which is gifted to me. Thank you so much. And I love them. Ellie loves them. She put them on straight away. As I was kitchening them up, she was going, my socks, wow. I have a very knit-worthy 2-year-old. So, she has worn them already, and they need to be washed because they are a little bit grubby, because she is a grubby 2-year-old. They were living, I knit those on my ChowGoose 2.25mm red lace ChowGoose, and I had an 80cm length, and they are living in this bag from the Knitting Goddess. And yeah, why doesn't Bear Grylls knit? So that is those. My next finished object, or my second one, I only have 2. Ta-da! These are my finished Show Us Your Scraps socks. So I am going to talk about these for a second. They aren't actually blocked, I just slipped them onto the blockers. This is the sock version of my fingerless mitt pattern. So I have published on Ravelry a quite basic, I think, or you know, like simple, easy enough to do fingerless mitt pattern called Show Us Your Scraps with an exclamation mark. I can't speak tonight. This is the sock design. This is totally only come into fruition because of Kelly from Lay Family Yarns. The lovely Kelly test knit my mitts pattern, helped me completely rewrite it to make it make good sense and fit well, and just was such a support. She is one of those women that builds other women up, and she knit a pair of these before I did. She was like, I want you to do it into you should do it into a sock design. And I was like, yeah, when I get around to it. I haven't got that many scraps at the moment that I could do it with that would do the whole thing how I want to do it. And then she was like, oh, I'm going to do it. She knit them up, and I was like, oh, they do look really good. I think I should write the pattern up. She's like, you should. And I was like, are you going to have any minis in your shop update? And I will buy a set and get them done. And then she said, what minis did you want to knit them out of? And I said, oh, I'd love to knit them out of the same ones you did, which were her Valentine's set. And she said she would send them to me. So thank you so much, Kelly. I really appreciate it. I love these socks. So these are in the Lay Family Yarns Valentine's mini set. I used 1 yarn for the cuff and the toe, and then I striped, so it's 5 20-gram minis, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4th one has done the heel as well, and then back 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one more stripe of number 1 for my size. I'm a UK size 7. So I knit this first one and wrote it up on paper in a little notebook going on at the same time, and then I knit the second one from those notes and changed quite a few things to make, I think, it sound a bit easier. And I typed it up today, and I put a little call out on Instagram in my stories to see if anyone would like to test knit them for me. They are incredibly simple. It is just this textured stitch every time there is a colour change, and it tells you when to colour change. It has an eye of partridge, heel, flap and gusset. And you know what? After knitting short row heels for ages, because they are quick, that's how I see them, they're quick. They're both easy, like this isn't particularly complicated, but I have been using a short row heel for probably 2 years just because it's quick. I knit this pair with a heel, flap and gusset, and I was reminded how much better this fits my feet. So I think I might have to go back, even though they take longer in my opinion. They probably don't take much longer, but I always feel like they take ages. But I think I'm going to have to go back to the heel, flap and gusset. So I did an eye of partridge heel and a wedge toe, because wedge toes are all I've ever done, and maybe I'll try a few new toes out. But there is instructions, like it's basic, you know, like you can put your own toe on the pattern. So yeah, they're out for testing at the moment. They are incredibly simple. They are the sort of socks that I think if you were a beginner knitter for socks, and or you hadn't knit socks many times before, and you wanted something simple and you had a bunch of minis and you just wanted walk through instructions rather than trying to work anything out, you could do it with these. So they are completely matching, and this is my first finished pair of socks this year for me, adult socks this year, so yay. And they were knit entirely this year, which means they're going in the box of socks Cal, which I've never done before, never really managed to get through, and I'm going to do it this year. I'm going to do it. So that takes me on to whips. I have worked on my Weekender by Andrea Mowry. Well done me. It is living in my car right now, so I haven't got it to show you, and I'm not going out to get it because it's freezing cold. But yes, it has had a few rows last Monday and in my dinner break at work last Monday, so it did get some love. My Tanya. I know how to say Tanya now. Please God, can I be saying it right? I hope I'm not saying it wrong. Tanya. 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 Because the amazing Sally sent me a link to Christy Glass's interview with Caitlin Hunter, where she had bits of paper that she held up that had all of the names of the sweaters that Caitlin Hunter had knit, and then one by one she pronounced them, which was brilliant for me. So I am literally just chugging along through the stockinette section. Don't worry, there is a lot of excess bunching here at the back, because this would not be my size. All the bunching, my size. I'm a big girl. So I'm loving it. I am knitting it in Suffolk Socks yarn, the Yarn Tart, Julie's yarn label. And it is, I will always forget all yarns because I'm a numpty. It is in Blueface Ester, 75% to Blueface Ester, 25% nylon, because it is stock yarn. Sweet Fried Tomatoes colourway. I love it. I am alternating skeins every 2 rounds, just in case. So I love it so far. It's just taken its time. I took it with me today when I went out, because it's nice and just knit, 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 knit. I can grab it whenever I need something mindless, so that's fine. So that got some love. My Champion socks. So this is living, oh, and this is living in, my Tanya is living in my Jilly Makes bag that she gifted me in the Yarn Wishes Granted last year, and I love it. And it has all the pin badges that I own on it. So this one I bought at Norwich Creative Market, and it is just a knitted button. This one is my Yarnporium badge from last year. This one is my Waltham Abbey Wool Show badge. This one is my Sockmatician badge. I met Nathan at Waltham Abbey Wool Show. And then I have a Gamer Crafting logo pin badge. And then I have, also from Gamer Crafting, a Knit Fast Die Warm badge. And is that everything on this one? Yeah, that's the Jilly Makes logo. This bag I bought at Norwich Creative Market, and I can't remember who it's from, and I never can because I am a bad person. If I ever find out, I will be better. I'll be better. These are my Champion socks. I finished one, so I have a hoe still. I think I had a hoe last week though, so yeah, I did. So not really anything amazing there. But I will put it on the blocker. Oh yeah, and the other big deal about these is that I wove all my ends in. Proud of myself. So this is the first of my Champion socks. This is a design of my own, which hopefully I will be writing up soon, seeing if anyone wants to test this one for me. These are called the Champion socks because they remind me, or they are knit for, they're knit for the women that championed me, cheerleaded me and made me feel like I could do this when I felt like I maybe couldn't, even though I really wanted to. I have anxiety problems, a lot of people know I have anxiety problems. Putting things out into the world where other people can criticise them is scary. I'm sure a lot of people feel like that. Anyway, so this is how much I have done of the second sock. Didn't get as much love because I want to finish those ones first and then crack on to these. So I have finished the first two, or the two leg, pretty much I finished the leg. I'm ready to start the heel, and this one does have a short row heel. So these socks consist of two different texture patterns. This one makes this one wave a little. A short row heel, and then the texture continues on the top of the foot, and then there's my wedge heel. And every time there is a colour change, you can mostly see it on this dark one, there is a 1 by 1 colour work row. So yeah, those got a little bit of love, and hopefully those will be the next ones done and up for test knitting, because I would love that. They are being knit out of Family Tree yarns, which are, you can't see them, they're all on the bottom. Family Tree yarns, a lovely Jane from Family Tree yarns who gave us a couple of those prizes for our knit along giveaway. Okay, what else? Oh, I started a thing which doesn't count. I knit the teeniest, tiniest swatch in the world. I just wanted to see how the yarn knit up and feel it in the fabric, and see what sort of stitch definition it had and how much I could see through it at the needles that I had. I just wanted to do the tiniest little gauge swatch. It is this yarn, the Sockmatician Moody Hues yarn. That's Nathan, Sockmatician. I bought what I would consider a small sweater's quantity, or a tops quantity, maybe not a big massive sweater, from him at Waltham Abbey Wool Show, and I have been wanting to do something with it ever since. So I knit the rib of an idea. I have an idea, I really want to do it, I knit the rib. This is in the Baker colourway, which is named after Gilbert Baker, who designed the Pride Rainbow flag. So yeah, I have the neck of an idea, and I think well, no, it doesn't count as a project basically, because it's about to come off the needles, because I'm not wasting this yarn, and I didn't really think this out completely, and it hasn't worked with the colour work idea that I had coming out. It hasn't worked, and I don't want to waste this anyway, so this is coming straight back off the needles, so it doesn't count. So that one's not happening. Frogged. Oh, I have a frogged. This hat, you might remember this from my whip video if you've watched it, where I got all my whips out. Keep jogging the table, I'm sorry. It has no needles in it, if you might be able to tell. This is just some yarn that I've had in my stash forever and a day. A little bit of it has already been knit up and used towards another project, and this is just sort of the leftovers. It's not a full 100 grams. I think it might be a crazy Zalba ball. Anyway, I started knitting Ellie a hat. It was going to be a Strange Brew hat. I didn't really like how it was knitting up to begin with, which is why it got sat in time out. And then I was thinking, no, I will definitely carry on with that, which is how I was feeling at the whip video. And then this week, Ellie grabbed it off the side and just pulled the needle out. And I was like, well, if there's a decider as to, you know, this is the chart that it's her hat. Like, if she pulls the needles out, I'm not knitting it for her. So this one is, you know, live frogging. It's not happening. So that's all the whips, and I do have some plans, some very, very quick plans for knitting. I am going to cast these on. I might even cast them on tonight or tomorrow morning. Knit Picks Felici in the Unicorn colourway. These were gifted to me by the same amazing person who gave me the yarn for Ellie's socks. And these are my first full balls of Knit Picks Felici. So I've never had Knit Picks Felici before, and then this amazing, amazing person sent me these two full balls to knit socks for me, and her leftovers to knit socks in the other colourway for Ellie. So Ellie's got hers, and now I need to get mine. I'm going to put these in my Jilly Makes Snoopy bag. Also, I have some needles that I got from Waltham Abbey Wool Show, which I have shown before. I've got some Addies and some Knit Pro Novas in 2.25s, and I've never tried Knit Pro Nova. Because I've been enjoying the Addies so much, a little bit of me thinks maybe I won't try the Knit Pro Nova and I'll just leave those until I desperately need them for something. I think I might knit them with the Addies. Either that or I've got ChowGoos now, because those socks were knit on ChowGoos, so I could use. Oh, I'm spoilt for choice. Do you know this never ever happens? Like I always have. All my needles are always taken up because I have 1,000,001 socks on the go, and here I am sat with ChowGoos, Addies, or Knit Pro Novas. I mean, I'd say ChowGoos would have been my favourite. If I had to pick out of 3 to buy, those 3, I'd go ChowGoo straight away. But I really enjoyed the Addies, and they had a softer tip, and I'm thinking I might go Addie. Knit Pro Nova got put to the back of the drawer. That sounds sad. Anyway, so these are getting cast on this week because I need some vanilla socks on the go, so I have something small and easy to whiz around and around on. And if you watched the Big Whip video, you'll remember that giant crochet blanket from the end. That is being knit all out, not knit, crochet, out of acrylic yarn, and it was Coastal Crochet's design that she put on Instagram. Every week there was like 2 rows or a couple of rows, 4 rows, I don't know, posted, and you followed along with her. Well, all of those posts are still up, and I didn't know about it back then, so I am catching up going through all those posts, but I haven't worked on it since last October, start of last October. So I'm going to go back to that, especially because I saw online, I think I saw it on Instagram on Hey It's Rebecca's page, hashtag started at the bottom Cal, which is all about like remembering where you're from, I think, where you came from. Like, people start with acrylic, like there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people say there is stuff wrong with that, because they say about like plastic harming the environment, but then there's other people who say that there's stuff wrong with using animals for wool because that's harming animals, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. My point being, there's a load of acrylic in this house and a half crocheted blanket, and I can finish that blanket from stuff I have in this house without buying more stuff, and I'm not about buying more stuff right now, so I keep going off on tangents. It's awful. And oh my gosh, it's 45 minutes already. Okay, so that is that. Stash enhancement. I only have one thing that is stash enhancement-y this week, and that is my stitch markers from Noodle Soup Yarns. She sent me 2 of her amazing stitch markers with the package for you guys for the knit along. And the first one I'm going to show you is this one, and again with a really sturdy ring, and so this glass and a progress keeper, so I can use it for either, and it is beautiful. But this one makes my heart sing. I love them both, but this one, this is on this knitting, but I am going to take it off because it is getting fogged. Look at that colour, and it's glittery. Like this piece of glass is just gorgeous. So I'm in love. Thank you so much if you're watching, Charlie. Thank you. Go and check Noodle Soup Yarns out, because beautiful stitch markers, beautiful yarn, beautiful, beautiful. So that's all my stash enhancement this week. I did buy a couple of things though, so I have some purchases. But oh no, I forgot this. I got this in Secret Santa at work. I've got other things too, like a big body scrub and Ted Baker body spray and stuff. But this, we do our Secret Santa in January, because then we get sale bargains. I got this flower loom, and you do this, and it makes all this stuff. You apparently can make loads of things. I don't know if you can see that. So I might try that out at some point. I don't need an extra hobby right now, but at some point I will try that out. So I made 2 purchases this week. I've been very frugal this week, for me anyway. I haven't been buying any yarn, and I haven't been buying any project bags, and that is just because I spent all of my yarn budget for the entire month, or the entire like payday month, which is 4 weekly for me, and I am poor right now, at Waltham Abbey Wool Show, because I got paid on the Friday and then went on the Sunday. Spent all my money. So it's been tight round here. But I did buy a couple of things. They are not yarny. Well, but they will be when I'm done with them. The first one is this. It's a vase. I'm going to fill it with minis. This is from Home Bargains. It's a shop that I love. So this vase was £1.99 in Home Bargains, with the idea being that every time I finish a pair of socks or a scrappy project or anything like that, I am going to, these are the minis that are left over from my Knit Pick socks for Ellie. So every time I finish, I'm going to chuck a mini in. So it has got a 20 gram mini. This one's a bit of a cheat. I might take it out. It's a 20 gram mini, a Family Tree Downs mini that I didn't use in my Champion socks. That one might come out because it is a full 20 grams. But all of the other ones. So where is my? Here we go. In my this is my Marauders map bag from Duckpool Lane. These are the minis left over from my Shershire scrap socks. Some of the minis are pretty. There's quite a bit left of this one and this one. Quite a bit left of both of those. They can go in there. And then, sorry, my dishwasher. It's done. But some of them have only a tiny little bit left. Anyway, I thought, because I really would love to swap some advent calendars with people next year, if anyone was up for that. If they're not, and that's fine. But I would love to do more advent calendars next year, but I never have a huge budget to buy loads, so I am going to save all of my gorgeous hand-dyed and normal just sock yarn minis throughout the year and hope to do some swaps. So is that all of them? They have all gump in the bottom here too. Yeah, I think so. No, well, yes. So here we go. So hopefully, as I make more things and find more things, I'll definitely have a few more minis around the house. I've got a whole bag in the other room that I'm going to ball up and put them into here, and I can pull them out of here to knit my blankets with and scrappy projects with, but also hopefully stack some gorgeous ones up for swapping at Christmas next year or before Christmas next year. £1.99 Home Bargains. It's going to look nice on my sideboard in my living room. So I bought one other thing, and that is the box for my box of socks this year. I saw on, I think it was on Kelly, Lay Family Yarns Kelly, on her Instagram stories when she was out buying boxes for her and I think her daughter as well. And I was like, I don't have a box. I'm sure I could find an old shoebox or something in this house. But I don't want to find an old shoebox. I want a nice pretty box like everyone else has a nice pretty box. So I went to TK Maxx. I think that was where Kelly was, and yeah, I was very much enabled. I went to TK Maxx and there was loads of gorgeous ones, and I actually had two. I was leaving with two. I was pushing the pushchair, holding two boxes, on my way to the lift, definitely buying two because I couldn't leave this other gorgeous blue one behind. And then I gave myself a little talking to, reminded myself I didn't have tons of money this month, and I only need one box, full stop. So I bought this one, and I love it. It says, "Life is meant to be an adventure. Let joy be your compass." And it has an elastic closure, and it has hinges. So, and it has one of those, yeah, so it can sit open like a little suitcase, and it still has a silica gel in it, which I'll take out. But yeah, so it's just a card box, and it was $5.99, but it has these little dings in the front. You see them here? I thought they were to do with this piece of elastic, even though they're not centering on it, but they aren't. They're nothing to do with it. The elastic just comes in on the top. So it's just been damaged. But those are such tiny little dots. They don't bother me at all. It sits in my living room on top of our wooden shelf like this, so you can't see those two little dots. And I just thought, I love it so much. So they didn't have another one. Anyway, so I went to the till, and she said, I said, "It's a bit damaged. Is there any chance you have any others? Because I really like this one." She was like, "No, but we can give you 10% off." And I was like, $5.99. So that's what, 60p, 59p. And she went, "Yeah, I've given you 10% off, so that makes it £5." And I was like, it's definitely not that mass, but I'll take it. But yeah, so which is fine, absolutely fine. So yeah, it cost me a £5 basically from a box. So now I can put my first pair of socks, they were completely knit this year, in my box. Yay, that makes me happy. So I'm going to do that this year because I am not urgent for socks right now, but it would be so gorgeous to have those next winter, not worn, and just take them out one by one and snuggle my feet up. So that is my box for my go at the box of socks Cal. So that really is everything this week. And we're not that far off an hour, though I will be cutting things out because there was a few blah 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 moments, blah, can't talk. So that just leads me into what's been going on in my life this week that is not knitting. There's not a lot more to say. If you do fancy going right now anyway, because it's been forever and a day, this podcast, then thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. If you do want to stay, well, here we go. So, Monday, I got sick on Monday. Woke up feeling croaky. Ellie has already been ill. Chris has been ill. And just feeling really naff and gross. I got it on Monday, and by the end of Monday I was shaky, freezing cold, but I had a temperature and I could barely speak because my voice had ran away from me, and I just, in general, in fact I'm going to put that right there in front of you guys, but I am just going to unravel this while I talk. Yeah, I just felt absolutely naff. It was just a nasty cold, basically. You know, a little bit of a temperature with it, but nothing worse than that. It's been going round. It felt horrendous to me, but I wasn't hospitalised like Katie, so I don't feel that I am that hard done by. Yeah, it wasn't. It was just nasty going around. But it did floor me a little bit. I worked late on Monday night and late on Tuesday night, which was actually quite good because it meant I had the Tuesday morning with Ellie, but you know, to try and recover a little bit before I went back in on the Tuesday night, so I didn't have to take any time off work. But it's not like being proper sick, do you know what I mean? It's a nasty cold with a bit of a temperature, but I wasn't, you know, if I'm not bleeding, if I don't have vomiting and diarrhoea, then I don't really class it as ill. I'm bad like that. I can proper let myself get absolutely awful and then be like, oh, I should have took a break. Yeah, I just get like that. I think it's working in a pharmacy and having 1,000,001 people come in every day and go, I have this horrendous cold, what can I have? And you give them all the options and they're like, but will it stop it? And I'm like, no, there isn't a cure for the common cold. If you want a pharmacy rant, let me know. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. Wednesday we stayed in all day and I just tried to give Ellie loads of fun things that are in the house to do because it was freezing cold outside. We didn't get any snow. Well, we did. We got a little bit in like the night, but it was melted by the morning. And on one day there was a little bit, but it was only on the cars that melted off the ground. So we just did house things on Wednesday because she had this nasty cold but was getting to feel a little bit brighter. Then on Thursday went out to her swimming lesson. That was the only time we went out during that day because I felt so awful. Then we went to see the nurse on the Wednesday because Ellie had been a bit odd with her cold. Lots of not that responsive moments, and I just was a bit concerned because hers had been going on a lot longer than ours, and she'd just been a bit odd. But the nurse actually recommended that we did go swimming because she said the chlorine in the pool would, to the swimming lesson, the chlorine in the pool would help to kill off bacteria, and it might be a good idea because she might wash out. She actually goes underwater, might swill around in her for a little bit. So lovely. So we'd go swimming, and she actually came out of that way better, like totally happy. Her cold cleared up quite quick, so maybe it did work. I came out of it feeling awful, came home and was shivering and shaking, could not get warm for the rest of the day. That was horrible, but there we go. Friday, stayed in the house pretty much all day again, just didn't go out, and I was just recovering. I just felt absolutely naff. Saturday I worked, had to work 7 AM till 3:30, nice busy day, and then came home, and then Chris went off to his friends to watch Norwich City play football. They just watched it on the telly because he's a big supporter. I don't care. Yeah, and I just sat on the sofa and knit. And then today is Sunday and I've been out. I feel much better now. I feel almost completely back to normal, just a bit of a funny voice. And I've been to an afternoon tea. Absolutely lovely lady who works in the surgery that our pharmacy is part of. Retired, and well, not retired, she just left that job. She might go on to do other things. She's very close with us. We absolutely love her, and just because she was leaving, she didn't happen to be employed by us, but it didn't matter because we absolutely loved her. So yeah, we went and did an afternoon tea at a local B&B because I live by the seafront. I don't think I said that at the start either, where I was from. Yeah, we went to a local seafront B&B and did this lovely afternoon tea, and then came home and typed up my Shosha Scraps pattern, sent it out to a couple of test knitters. Now we're here filming a podcast. Ha! So that's it. Nothing amazing's gone on this week. It's been a very sort of week. I did go to TK Maxx. What day did I go to that on? I did that on Friday morning. I thought we'll get out of the house. We went on Friday morning. We were going to do something. And then we went and fed the squirrels. That's what we did. We fed the squirrels. Oh, and this morning before the afternoon tea, we went to Readers Park. So I live, the actual little place that I live by Lowestoft is called Alton Broad. And it is like the start of the opening from the sea to the Norfolk Broads. And yeah, so we have a lovely open stretch of water and lots of little sailboats and a very nice park that has lots of squirrels and lots of ducks and a big green open space and a play park and a pond, and then there's the massive Broad. And yes, it's quite pretty. So we went there this morning, but we froze our arses off because it was freezing cold. Like the ground was still frozen, even though it was like 11:30. No, later than that, 12:30, and the ground was still frozen over from the night. But there we go, no snow. Yeah, so that's everything, guys. I feel like I'm feeling a bit drained and a bit, so I think I'm at the end of this one. I'm gonna go. If you have made it all the way through to this incredibly long video, thank you so much for sticking it out. I do appreciate it, and I will see you next week. Come find me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I love it over there. I'm there most of the time. Just because notifications come off my phone, so I'm like, oh, Instagram. And I went over 600 followers this week. I was like, what? I told someone at work, and she was like, she doesn't knit, and she doesn't really know about this. I was like, oh, I just went over 600. Literally, it happened while I was at work. I was like, huh. I just went over 600 Instagram followers, and she went, what? You? What? She was a bit baffled. Anyway, I'm gonna go. If you stuck around, even if you didn't stick around, I'm saying this to thin air, don't care. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys so much. Even if you've gone and this is the end and there's no one there, I appreciate it anyway. Thank you for making my life so much richer and making me so much less of a lonely knitter.